Hi, I'm Michael Lachance. I'm an author and comic. You can find my videos and my books on www.skipperpete.com and Skipper Pete Books on YouTube or Skipper Pete Travel, my sister site. This particular reading is from an older book I published some years ago, but I revised it, changed some things, and I was just reading it myself. Excellent romance novel, dark times, takes place in 1930s Germany. It's called The Treaty of Versailles, The Power of Love. The question of the book is how far are you willing to go to save someone you love? In this case, Erich had fled to Canada with his boyfriend, Nikki. And Nikki returns to Germany to help his parents, but gets taken up by the Nazis and put into a camp. Erich is not going to let the man he loves suffer in a camp or be killed. And so he becomes the one thing he hates most, an SS officer, so he can save Nikki. That's what this book is about. Strong male lead. I did a lot of research in this book on the Gestapo, the SS, Prince Albrechtstrasse, where the SS was headquartered, Sachsenhausen, Dachau. I even went to the camps, one of the camps in Germany, to do some on-site homework. It's an excellent novel. It's an excellent romance. I know it's my book, and so I'm saying so, but it's not. I have had people that also enjoyed it. I hope you'll take the opportunity to buy a copy, read it. It's now available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Hardcovers are nice on the shelf. It's an opportunity to pick the copy up later on and reread it to see what details you might have missed. And so I'm going to read to you from Chapter 8. Stefan, Freund. Some of it, yes, in German. He says ja, with spelled J-A rather than yes, but you get it. Anyway, this particular chapter is about a very good friend of his who's gone out on a limb. He works for the Reichstag office in Germany, in Berlin, in 1935. And in going out on a limb for Erich to help him find Nikki, Stefan gets himself in trouble, and it's Erich who discovers the truth. So let's start Chapter 8. After work, Erich enjoyed a nice conversation with the bank president, and the success of Erich's work, which included some extra funds. They had lunch, and then he asked Erich to step into some shoes that required more time at the bank and some travel. But the bank president, Mr. Jean Lachance, was concerned with only one thing, that some new interests of the industry are in New York, and two of them are Jewish. Now, I'm sorry I didn't clear this up, but this is 1954, and Erich has a job at a bank. And he's going to see a psychiatrist, Dr. Sherbet, to talk about all of the horrors he got involved in working as an SS officer. And so we have flashbacks to that time with the psychiatrist. Right now he's at work, but when he sees the psychiatrist, we find out that he looks at the light brightens, and he's taken back to Berlin, 1936, in his thoughts, and so then he recounts everything that's happened. So, he says that he's gone to Sachsenhausen, and he finds that his friend Stefan can help him find Nikki. Anyway, Erich, Stefan shouted as he walked up. He was quite a handsome man, strong jaw and a modest, muscular build. His hair was short, military short, but he didn't care for it that short. Are you mad, Erich asked, to yell like that? Sorry, John, he said, but was so happy to see him after this many years had passed. They wanted to hug, but that was not possible, nor in their interests. He motioned for Erich to follow him to the door and into the building, grabbed the key from the planter. As you're not inside. Erich looked around again to be sure that they weren't watched, as often was the case now for members from the offices of the SS. They went in and up the stairs to the third floor. Stefan loved it, as it gave him a great view of the plaza and the small park across from his flat. He looked at Erich, who smiled and opened the door. Erich set his small bag down, put his backpack on the floor. He hung his coat, and then he and Stefan listened for a moment. "It's fine, is it?" Erich asked. "Yeah, it is fine." They hugged very strongly, and Erich felt awkward when Stefan kissed his cheek. Fearful at first, but then he hugged Stefan back. "Ah, you've gotten skinny, and you've gotten quite strong, nearly as much as me," Erich said. They let loose and looked each other over. "Without Nikki. Right, you don't cook." Stefan tapped his shoulder. "It's all right, come on." They went in and into the kitchen. "Also, I want to practice my English." The flat wasn't very big, but the views were very nice of the park and the Strasse. The kitchen and living room were one room, and there was a private bedroom with a bath. "So make yourself comfortable." "This is nice," Erich said, and admired the flat. It was cozy with a couple plants and pictures. "Thank you," he said, and removed his coat and got settled on the couch. There was a meow, and a calico cat ran in from the bedroom, leapt onto Stefan's lap, and lay down. "Guten Abend, Herr Felix." "This is a calico," Erich asked, reached over, and when he tried to peck Felix, she swung her claw at him. "Yes, but she's going to have a change and be a man instead of the bitch she is now." They looked at each other and then at Felix. A moment passed, and they laughed out loud. "What must I do about boots?" Erich's happiness waned. "I took the liberty." Stefan moved and Felix jumped from him. He went to the closet and brought a pair of boots out. "There was no luck that you and Jan had the same foot." Erich shook his head. "So my past with you shows itself. Just in a good way." He set the boots down next to Erich, who tried them out. "Sehr gut," he said. Stefan tapped his lap and Felix jumped up on him. "Such a good cat." "This whole matter has me so tense, Stefan," Erich said and sat back. His whole body lost its muscle control and he melted into the chair. "But in my other hand, in one hand my excitement is there to be back, but in my other hand," then a bit of sadness filled him. Stefan sat with him. "It'll be all right. He's alive." And Stefan stopped himself. "What?" Stefan looked at Felix, who was busy cleaning himself. "He's not on the list." He turned back to Erich. "What list?" Erich's muscles got their control back, and he sat up as Stefan was suddenly uncomfortable. He drew his hands down along his cheeks. "Dachau has a list of people." He bit at his lip and then turned to the window. "You were SA." "How will you know if he gets on a list?" Erich sat up. "The paperwork can be generated from either end right now." Stefan got up and looked out the window. "So beautiful outside." "The list, Stefan." Erich got up and looked out the window too. "He's at Dachau, and they are somewhat new to this business of keeping inmates there." He tapped Erich's hand. "He's safe." "And when will he no longer be safe?" Erich sat down on the couch, and Felix, angry about the loss of his space, growled. "For now he's safe," he pondered. "And you've heard that Hitler ordered the Rhineland to be taken." "No, why?" "Lebensraum, for the German people. It was our land to begin," Hitler announced. Stefan went to the kitchen. He got 2 glasses and poured some sweet red wine. "The Treaty of Versailles does not allow for this. The Allies will act." Erich got up and went to the small bar that he set the wine on. "No, they are still in the face of this matter. Hitler, they say, counts on their inaction." He took a drink. "We call it a need for resources to feed the overpopulation." Erich scoffed. "What population?" "Precisely," he said and swirled the wine in the glass. "A nice flavor. For dessert," Erich said, "the wolf barks at the sheep." Stefan raised a glass. "To the sheep that may one day defeat the wolf." They tapped glasses and drank. "We hope," Erich said. "So forgive me, but are things in place?" "Yes," he said and finished the wine. "For now, though, enjoy my home. Supper in 10 minutes just a block from here." Treaty of Versailles, The Power of Love. Wonderful romance, intense, moving. I said I did a lot of research on this story, authentic. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you take the chance to read it, read the description, you get 10% you can read without paying for it, so you can get an idea if this book is for you. This is an adults only book, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you leave a review. Thank you very much. Treaty of Versailles, the power of love.